Well, guys, welcome back. This is Jason with Smoking Eagles Rod Shop, coming to you from my home shop here in Napanee, Indiana. We are post burnout at Cleetus and Cars, and we're going to go over the ELCO, check out a few things. There's some stuff that we've learned, and yeah, we're gonna start addressing all the issues we had. So yeah, let's get to it, guys. I'll just take you around the car and tell you what issue we had and what we're doing about it, and you know, that way we can just stay working on this and moving towards a better car every time we go out there. So yeah, let's take a walk around. Okay, guys, so you're gonna notice we took the mechanical fan off of the front of this. We took the spacer out, and we took the coolant shroud off of the radiator. We're attempting to get the motor warmer. We went into the pit. The ELCO only warms up to about 140, 145, and we did a 2-minute burnout, and we came out of the pit. It was only at 153, so we do not have it running in the right temperature range. So we're going to remove that mechanical fan. I do have an electric fan up on the front of this radiator. I don't think you can see it, and I have a mechanical fan on this back little radiator, which is connected to the coolant ports. So we're going to take the fans and we're going to take them off of the switch that they're wired on, and we're going to use a couple of pins in our ECU to control these. And that's what's really nice about having these MSD relay box, is I can just these over here where the switch is wired, just a quick couple of wires switch position moves, and I'll have those fans being controlled by the ECU, and that'll hopefully let the car warm up a little more. I also ran out of puke tank. That little puke tank at about 1.5 minutes was spewing oil out of the top of it, and we can't have that. That's a fire hazard. I don't want to catch all this on fire. So we got a bigger puke tank. We're gonna have to find a home for this guy, but we're gonna get this guy up there too. If I can get that fan wired up and this puke tank put in, we will push the car outside today and fire it up and see if we can't control that temperature a little better. And I think that'd be good. I think that'd be a good video for the day. Man, it did great at Indy, but we're looking to just keep improving, guys. We're not going to just sit on where we're at and just hope that we can stay good. And again, like that little radiator hose down there, it has an adapter in it from 1.5 inches to 1.75 inches, because the bottom radiator hose is only, the bottom radiator bung is 1.5 inches. So if we can get it started up and ran today and it warms up a little bit, we'll take this bung over to Woodcock Welding and let him weld us in a bigger bung, so that we don't risk losing that bottom radiator hose, because that would not make my day in one bit. So there's a few little things we can work on the car today. So let's get to it, boys. And probably just going to set you up on some time lapse, and you can watch me worm around and pull those wires real quick to the ECU, to the relay blocks. And then from there, if we get that done, we'll see if we can't get this breather done quickly, and then we can push it outside and start it up. So time lapse, guys. Well, that went about as easy as possible. I was able to reuse my same holes. I just had to get a little bit of a spacer to get me some clearance back here. And I was able to use my same hose. And I think we got plenty of wheel clearance down there. And it even puts it in a better spot, so when you drain it, it drains, you know, either straight down to the ground or maybe just a little on that tire. That's going to help us out a bunch, guys. Like, no jokes aside, it's not good to catch something on fire. So let's put the overflow in an overflow tank that'll hold it. And yeah, let's go there. I found some wires. I gotta figure out which ones are the right ones to put in that connector. And then I should be able to just run those guys right straight through the firewall and then pin them out here. And yeah, connect them up, and then we should be off to testing today, guys. So I think that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna get you up on time lapse, and let's go. So guys, along with the fans being programmed into the ECU, I actually went in and plugged them into the software already. I figured out where they were. I figured out what color wires they were supposed to be that I removed already. I then re-added them to the pin. You can see it's those two gray wires running right on the outside of there. And we brought them through the firewall. And now this is what's great about the about these. I can just unscrew. I can unscrew the ones that are fans currently, and I can screw those guys in, and we're off to the races. I have 3 fans connected on the outputs, so I need to find a home for all those. So I think I'm going to move one of them up here for the transmission one, and I'll have to move this green trigger up to here for the actual fan switch that's in there, and then the fan switch will control the transmission, and then I'll have the two fans, the one for the radiator and the one for the cooler down here, and those will be triggered down here. So I'm gonna have to move a little bit of wiring around, but that's what's great about these MSDs. You just move the wiring around. So I'm gonna get you on time lapse, and we're gonna do that. And after we're done doing that, I think we can roll it outside and fire it up and see how it works. See guys, that's what I really like about these MSD relay, solid state relay blocks. This is now my trans fan, and it's there. Then I have my injectors and my ignition coil. My ignition coil comes, or my injectors come down and runs with my fuel pumps. And then I have these fans down here. These fans are a ground switch, so they go on that second row rather than the first row. See, that's what else is really nice about these. So these are positive switched. These are all positive switched, but these are negative ground switched. So you just move them to the back row, and bada bing, bada boom, you have it. That's one thing I would suggest is to set it up in the computer first, because I was going to positive switch those, and then I realized, oh wait, I need to negative switch those, and it actually called out for different pins. I was going to go with pins B11 and B12, and instead I went with B10 and B3 on ground switch. So, you know, set it up in the ECU first, and then come out and change your wiring. These MSD solid state relays are really handy. You can change stuff up really quick, and it kind of stays really nice. I think that's actually really nice considering that's all the wiring in the car. So yeah, now that we got that done, I think we can load the tune and drag it outside and test it. I do want to tighten up that radiator clamp that did come loose. We'll address that here real soon. But yeah, let's Let's tighten that clamp up and let's drag it outside and test it, guys. Let's see if we can't make these fans, see if we can't get this car to warm up a little faster. Okay guys, so we're just gonna start it up. And we're gonna take it outside and we're gonna be watching this coolant temp right up here, and we're gonna see if we can't get it to go up to 160 and turn on some fans. So yeah, let's go see if we can't warm it up. Just try and get some oil pressure. Sounds good. That thing's gaining temperature a lot quicker than it ever has before, guys. That thing's actually like cruising up in temperature pretty quick. I think that's what we needed. I think we needed to get rid of that mechanical fan. I think we were just pushing too much air across that radiator. guys, that actually worked as intended. So the way I set it up was so that the back fan would turn on at 170. So this fan turns on at 170, and the front fan on the radiator turns on at 175, and then I have them so they both shut off at 165. And it did. It went right up to 170. The back fan kicked on, and then it slowly creeped up. The progress of it heating up really slowed down a little bit with that back fan on. It was pulling out a good amount of heat, so it creeped up to 175. And as soon as it hit 175 and this front fan kicked on, the temperature started diving down. It drove it all the way down to 164, and it kicked both fans off. That's exactly what we wanted to do. That's just under idle, so now we need to try that out under a burnout condition. But that's exactly what we were hoping for. That warmed up way quicker. That's gonna be a lot better for the engine to have it at that 170. We've been struggling with that, and I think that's really going to improve some stuff. Some of that E85 condensation we were getting in the engine probably will get burnt out at a higher temperature. So yeah, that's a successful test, guys. I think we really did remedy that little issue and that breather tank. So yeah. Well, guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I kind of wish I'd have done that before Cleetus and Cars. I wish I'd done that way sooner in the process of getting this LS in. You know, when you're building things, sometimes you think it's the tune, and the truth of the matter is 90% of your problems are probably something on the car itself. It doesn't have to do with the tune. And I just thought if we just tuned it better and did a little better tuning, that we would get there. And when I got there, I met an Aussie fella, and he basically said, "Hey, are you having problems with this car overheating?" And I said, "No, I have the exact opposite." And he was like, "Well, yeah, I bet you do, with the mechanical fan and the mechanical water pump and, you know, all the extra coolers on here. I bet you do have a hard time getting it up to temperature." And he gave me some really solid advice, and you know, I'm definitely listening. I just thought we could tune the engine up better and get it there, but it's not. It's you know, it's very rarely your tune that isn't working. It's something on the car that's not working. So learn that lesson, and moving on. So now we got a few other things that we can work on after that. But that's a big first step. Thank you for following along, guys. I really do get motivated, you know, from all the watchers that comment and the people that we meet in the pits, and, you know, tell us, you know, good job, and I'm watching your videos, and, you know, that feels good. So keep it up, you know, tell a friend. We're on to big and better this year. Last year we went to Cleetus and Cars and we both hurt our cars. This year we went to Cleetus and Cars and we both drove them on the trailer, and we both learned a lot. And I think our cars are better than they've ever been, and I think they're only at the beginning of how good they're going to be. So yeah, stay tuned. More burnouts coming soon. I think we're going to try to get this guy on the dyno. We're going to try to get the ELCO over on the dyno and fill in that fill in the tune. We essentially have idle and we have wide open throttle, and we don't really have much in between here. And that's kind of where the car's struggling right now. If you watch the burnout video, it kind of was loading up, and it wasn't just going. When I'd pull it down to first, it would skip out of this middle section and up into the wide open throttle, and man, it would go, and then I could break it, I could jam it right back into second, and it would just like keep going. So you know, we just keep working on these things, and you know, we're just going to keep making it better. So I think that's going to be it for today, though. It was a good weekend. I got a lot accomplished. I'm really happy with those results. I think I'm going to rip the radiator out and run it over to Woodcock. Woodcock Welding. this week and get a different bung put in it. Thanks in advance, Josh. But other than that, I think we got it. So yeah, let's go enjoy the rest of the day. It's beautiful outside, and I need to mow my yard. If you can't see back there, I need to mow the yard. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let's go.